Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded. Simulation ready. Before the Great War, Executive Order 99066 was used to round up and imprison Chinese and Chinese-American citizens in concentration camps across the United States in response to the Sino-American War. Little Yangtze was one such concentration camp, but instead of simply being imprisoned indefinitely in horrific conditions, its prisoners were instead used as subjects for big MT experiments. The camp was essentially a human farm for the think tank. On its very first day of operations, the camp was filled with 3 entire trainloads of prisoners, some of who had a very limited grasp of English and had to be forced with nightsticks to carry out soldiers' commands. It is not clear if the inmates were actually citizens of the United States, as they may very well have been abducted Chinese citizens or captured PLA infiltrators. The squalor of the camp, as well as abductions of inmates for research purposes and brain extraction, as Big MT was working on robo-brain technology at the time, resulted in constant tension among the prisoners and their guards. With no recourse or hope of salvation, the prisoners were constantly trying to escape. Any complaints about the abductions were dismissed by the camp commandant as superstitions about ghosts and punished with 3 weeks in solitary confinement. The constant escapes and resulting processing, as well as pulling triple shifts, had a negative impact on the soldiers watching the camp and their morale. Eventually, the camp commandant requisitioned freshly prototyped explosive collars for a trial run. All prisoners were fitted with them and would be killed instantly if they crossed the camp perimeter. After the war, the military abandoned Big MT and left behind the prisoners still locked up in the camp. The radioactive fallout turned the survivors into ghouls, but due to the bomb collars on their necks, leaving the camp remained ill-advised. As it stands, they were forced to eke out an existence for over 2 centuries, locked inside the prison camp. In the late 23rd century, Elijah rediscovered Big MT and for a time used Little Yangtze as his base of operations, reverse engineering the technology used to force prisoners into submission for future use in breaching the Sierra Madre, searching for a specific frequency, and used the bomb collars and the prisoners as test subjects. Many of the prisoners were insane and suicidal, with many rushing the gates whenever they spotted him, exploding the moment they left the perimeter. Situated in the northwest quadrant of the crater, the prison camp is a fenced-in area with 4 gates. The interior is filled with field tents containing rusted bunk beds, with a number of makeshift graves outside. The small surviving population of insane, ghoulified survivors continue to eke out an existence, unable to leave the perimeter. 2 former inmates, ghouls number 27 and number 34, managed to escape the perimeter, but continue to shamble around the perimeter with little grasp of their remaining mental faculties. North of the camp is a collapsed building containing Christine's COS silencer rifle, a dose of steady and ammunition on the 2nd floor. The building was used by Christine Royce as a shooting position while she tracked down Elijah. However, she was captured when she tried to kill the rogue elder. Once the rifle is picked up, 3 lobotomites will spawn from the surrounding area, Elijah's advanced lair, on the 2nd floor balcony of the Little Yangtze watchtower near the east gate of Little Yangtze. With high volume, the sound from the speakers that emit signals from dead money on the loudspeakers above each gate can be heard, as well as whispers when standing around the makeshift gravestones. These whispers occur with most graveyards. One example of these faint sounds is at the Good Springs Cemetery, where the same whispers will be heard. There is a Sierra Madre poster on the floor in the watchtower. If the survivors chase the player character near any of the gates, their collars will inevitably explode, killing them. Many sentry bots are lying dead or half-buried by the entrance facing the think tank. In the Japanese version, where human and ghoul characters' body parts cannot be destroyed, most cases of headless bodies are replaced with gore bags. The dead ghoul prisoner in the Little Yangtze watchtower, however, remains as it is, with its head attached. Simulation completed. Please exit the pod or have a technician select another file.